Aloha everyone. So we can all agree that there is a shortage of long-term housing solutions on Maui for people that have been displaced by the Lahaina Fire. There are still thousands of Lahaina residents that are being housed in hotels, which is not a viable long-term solution. In this video, we're going to discuss what the state and county are proposing to solve the long-term housing shortage. One of the options is to impose a temporary ban on short-term rentals altogether. But that solution isn't the first choice according to Hawaii's Governor Josh Greene. Let's watch this quick 2-minute video where the governor summarizes the current plan, and then we'll dive into a more detailed discussion and I'll share my opinion on the current proposals.
Hello everyone, December 1st. Today I'm going to talk about housing options for Maui. The Maui Wildfire Housing Solutions can include the following. This is kind of a framework. Part one, in my opinion, we leverage short-term vacation rentals. We really have to put a lot of emphasis on moving short-term rentals over to long-term rentals. And so the mayor's team's working on this. They've proposed some tax changes so that short-term rentals are taxed more, longer-term rentals get a break. I think that's very smart. But I do think we're gonna have to pay significant resources supported by the federal government to help people all the way through at least next August 25. That's important. Next thing we do is we identify, build, and operationalize a bunch of ADUs, tiny houses, small units on people's properties. This also will be supported by the feds. This is something that FEMA does. It's very important because we need long-term solutions also after we can't use the timeshare units, the otherwise non-owner occupied homes, and all these short-term rentals. Finally, we have to expedite county residential projects that are in the pipeline. We have to do it soon because we're talking about building with some HUD monies, but if we don't get this going, it's going to be very difficult even after a couple of years have passed. So this is a basic solution. Move these short-term rentals to long-term rentals and do the building that's necessary. But if none of that happens, the mayor may have to make a serious decision about pausing on short-term rentals. And I think that this is something that could cause a lot of conflict. So we're trying to get this done instead so that the 7,000, 8,000 individuals that have been in hotels can get into a stable living situation.
So it's clear that the ban on short-term rentals is not the state's first choice when it comes to solving the housing crisis on Maui. But it is an option that is being considered. The first choice is to offer incentives to owners of short-term rentals and unoccupied properties to entice them to offer their properties to fire victims as 12 to 18-month rentals. Let's take a closer look at what exactly is being proposed. To start off, they would offer premium long-term rents that would be paid by a combination of federal government, state government, and private foundation money. The rental amounts I've seen being proposed range from $5,000 per month for a studio or one-bedroom home and up to $11,000 per month for a 4-bedroom home. The mayor of Maui County is also proposing a property tax exemption to be given to the property owners that offer their vacation rental properties as long-term housing to those displaced by the fire. At the same time, they would increase the property tax for short-term rentals that do not participate in the program in order to make up for the loss of tax revenue created by the exemptions. At this time, I haven't seen any indication on exactly how much the property tax increase would be. The third thing being proposed is coming from the governor, who is proposing incentives for property owners of existing properties to build ADUs or ohanas on their existing properties and expediting the residential projects that are already in the pipeline. Now, I think it's important to keep in mind that both of these building solutions would likely take several months to complete. So while it's important to increase the supply of homes through development, even an expedited process isn't going to solve the problem in the near-term future. We all know that nothing happens fast on Maui. So at this point, the governor and mayor say they would like to see enough property owners voluntarily opt into the long-term rental program. But if we don't get enough owners to volunteer, they will consider imposing a ban on short-term rentals altogether. So I personally think that the incentives are a fair and balanced solution. but I'd like to see more details before making a full determination. I do know a lot of short-term rental property owners are interested in offering their properties to those displaced by the fire, even if they don't make as much net rental income as they would by renting their property out to vacationers. That said, I don't think the second option, which is a temporary ban on short-term rentals, is a viable option. There would likely be a lot of pushback from property owners who would then likely file some sort of class action lawsuit to overturn the short-term rental ban. This litigation would likely take months or years to play out, and of course, we're looking for solutions now, not months or years from now. I personally am really hopeful that the incentives are enough to entice people to opt into the long-term rental solution of their own free will. But I'm curious to hear what you think though. Are these potential solutions fair to everyone? How do you think this is going to play out? Now, at this point, it's also important to keep in mind that these are just proposed solutions and nothing has been officially approved by the county or state. I'll do my best to keep you all updated as things evolve here on Maui. If you know anyone that owns property on Maui, please share this video with them, as these are decisions that will certainly have an impact to anyone that owns Maui real estate. If you thought the video was helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for continued updates, and I hope to see you on the next video. Aloha.